Welcome back to another episode of War in Cali. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the Osage legend Crips. Osage legend Crips, or just the legend Crips, are from Inglewood and get their name from a street in that area. The legend Crips have been around for decades and later became affiliated with the neighborhood Crips. Legend Crips are one of the few Crip gangs in Inglewood. That includes gangs like the Imperial Village Crips, the Raymond Ave Crips, and the Tongan Crip gang. All the Crip gangs in Inglewood would be surrounded by several Bloods and Pirus, with the city of Inglewood being known for having a lot of Blood and Piru gangs, like the Queen Street Bloods, the Inglewood Families, the Neighborhood Pirus, the Avenue Pirus, the Crenshaw Mafias, the Centinela Park Families, and the Center Park Bloods. All these gangs would go to war with all the Crips in Inglewood. This would gain the legend Crips a lot of enemies. Even with being such a limited amount of Crip gangs in Inglewood, the legends would develop a rivalry with once ally, the Raymond Ave Crips. This war got intense in the early 2000s. But with that being said, let's get into some cases. Artist was a member of the legend Crips. He was in Inglewood, where he spotted two men wearing red. He believed them to be from Queen Street Bloods. He walked up on their car and started pressing them. They said they didn't bang, but Artist still whipped out his gun and started shooting at their car. One of the men was killed, and the other was seriously wounded. The surviving victim identified Artist as the shooter and picked him out of a photo lineup. This later got Artist 75 years to life. The legend Crips and the Queen Street Blood War was in full-fledged. On January 17, 2002, a Queen Street Blood named Burt was shot and killed. Several Queen Street Bloods on the street were mad, and some were even crying with the loss of their homie. They vowed to get revenge, and the legend Crips were their top target. Just an hour later, three men were spotted sitting on the corner of Osage and Legends Turf. A man named Sean and his girlfriend would be walking. They would be approached by the three men, who said, "What's up, blood?" Sean knew what type of time they was on and started to run. The three men yelled out Queen Street and started shooting. This shooting left Sean dead in the street. Many witnesses would give police a description of what happened. They said they heard over 13 shots and seen Sean being shot multiple times. Sean's girlfriend would see the shooters touch a car and see them run to a different car and drive away. The police collected fingerprints from the car nearby, and it was from a Queen Street Blood named Earl. Sean's girlfriend would even pick him out as the shooter. This shooting would give Earl 75 years to life. The legend Crips and the Raymond Ave Crips were involved in a violent conflict in March of 2006. On the night of March 5th, 2006, a woman named Lachey, who was a member of the legend Crips, was shot and killed at Hollywood Park Motel. Her boyfriend was also a legend Crip, and he would be seriously shot as well, but he survived from his injuries. Police was close in proximity and heard the shooting and got to the scene fast. They would stop a car who was driving away from the motel. The car had 4 people inside of it, and they were all Raymond Ave Crips. Police found several guns inside the car, and a Raymond Ave Crip named David Hands tested positive for gunshot residue. They also determined casings recovered at the motel, as well as the bullet taken from Lachey's body during her autopsy, were fired from the guns used in the car. David told the police that he and several other members had been ordered by the older Raymond Ave Crips to go to the legend Crips turf and retaliate against the legends for them previously shooting at them. After driving around in search of legend Crips, they went to Hollywood Park Motel. David would be told to hop out the car and go shoot at the females who were standing outside the motel because he was told they were from legend. This shooting got David 58 years to life. One evening, Jennifer, Maxine, Darnell, and Christopher went to a nightclub in Anaheim. The group stayed at the club for about 2 hours. As they left the club, Darrell from East Coast Crip and Randall from Legend Crip, who was together, called Jennifer out her name. This led to an argument between both sides. Groups would leave the club with no incident. Both groups would end up at a gas station, and another altercation would start back up, but once again, they both separated and left. Darnell, Maxine, and Christopher's group got onto the freeway, where they seen Randall and Darrell were driving as well. Moments later, they heard gunshots. The car was shot up. They end up crashing into the center divider. Darnell got out the car, where he would end up being hit by another car and fly into the air, and he would die from his injuries. Jennifer would pick Randall and Darrell out as the shooters, and the club cameras captured their altercation at the club. Even though Randall from Legend Crip didn't kill him, he was still involved with the shooting leading to his death, so he would be charged with life for the shooting. October 13th, 2010, Baby Tweety Bird, an active member of the Legend Crips, was gunned down. The shooting took place near the intersection of West Manchester and Crenshaw Boulevard in Inglewood. The unknown person approached him and fired multiple shots, fatally wounding him and taking his life. Legend Crips held the Inglewood family Bloods responsible for the shooting death of baby Tweety Bird, which intensified the feud between the Legend Crips and the Inglewood family Bloods. This resulted in a string of drive-by shootings between the two right after. Vaughn was from Legend Crip. He was staking out a house in his hood. A woman named Van lived in a house in Legend's turf with her son William. He was from Mad Ass Gangsta Crip. Van called William and told him that Vaughn was outside looking at her house. When William got to his mom's house, Vaughn seen him exit the car and started shooting at him. William would be shot several times, but he survived. William's whole family seen the shooting and gave a description of the shooter, and they all later testified. Vaughn would get 75 years to life for the shooting. 2018, police did a 2-year investigation trying to wipe out the Legends for a drug ring they ran out of a shopping center in Inglewood. This got a total of 15 people indicted and also more arrested. The police vowed to take them down starting in July of 2016, following a spike in violence involving the Legend Crips and his rival, the Inglewood family Gangsta Bloods. Events like this slowed activity in the area. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.